NCIS just killed Vance. So who replaces him? McGee? I think NCIS just made a risky move, killing off Leon Vance. Not just because he was important, but because now they've created a bigger problem, replacing him. And if we're being honest, there are only two names that even make sense right now, McGee or Gibbs. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized this isn't just about who gets the job. It's about what NCIS is going to become without Vance. Let's be real for a second. Vance wasn't just the director. He was the balance of the entire show. When things got messy, he was the calm. When politics got involved, he handled it. When the team pushed too far, he pulled them back. That's a very specific kind of leader, and that's why his death feels different. This isn't like losing a field agent. This is losing the person who held everything together. So replacing him isn't just filling a seat. It's trying to replace something the show built over years. Now, if we're talking about who makes the most sense, McGee is the obvious choice. He's been there long enough. He understands how everything works, and he's earned the respect of the entire team. But what really stands out is his growth. We've watched him go from unsure to confident, from following orders to making decisions. And the show didn't rush that. It built him up slowly over time, which is why putting him in the director's chair wouldn't feel random. It would feel earned. But here's where it gets complicated. McGee doesn't want that kind of power. He's not chasing the position, and he's not trying to lead from above. And sometimes that's exactly what makes someone the right leader. But at the same time, being director isn't just about experience. It's about pressure, responsibility, and making decisions that don't always feel right. And right now, McGee is still emotionally part of the team. Putting him in that chair immediately might be too much, too fast. Now let's talk about Gibbs, because I already know what people are thinking. If things feel unstable, bring Gibbs back. And yeah, emotionally, that sounds perfect, because Gibbs isn't just a character, he's the identity of NCIS. When you think of the show, you think of him. So bringing him back as director feels like it would fix everything. But when you really think about it, it doesn't actually fit. Gibbs was never built to be director. He didn't follow the system. He bent it. He didn't sit behind a desk. He led from the front. And being director is the opposite of that. It's structure, politics, control. That was Vance's strength, not Gibbs. And more importantly, Gibbs already got his ending. He walked away, chose peace, and left that life behind. Bringing him back just to sit in an office wouldn't feel like growth. It would feel like going backwards. So when you really break it down, this isn't just McGee versus Gibbs. It's the show choosing between the past and the future. Gibbs represents everything NCIS used to be. McGee represents what it's becoming. And right now, the show is in that transition, which is why they're not rushing a replacement. That's why we're hearing about interim directors, because even the story itself is trying to figure out what comes next. So here's the most realistic outcome. Gibbs is not coming back to be director. Maybe we see him again, maybe we get a moment, but not in that role. McGee, on the other hand, feels like the long-term answer, but not immediately. The show is going to take its time, test different leadership styles, and slowly push him toward that position until it feels natural. At the end of the day, this isn't just about replacing Vance, because you don't replace someone like him. You move forward, you adapt, and you figure out what comes next. And that's exactly where NCIS is right now. An empty chair, an uncertain future, and a decision that's going to define the show for years. So let me ask you this. If you had to choose right now, are you picking Gibbs or are you ready to see McGee step up?